Hey guys, it's the Flippin' Hippo. Thank you for joining us on our YouTube channel at Flippin' Hippos. Today is September 10th. It is a Monday, which means it's time for one thing and one thing only. What sold on eBay? So we're just going to take a quick look at the last week. I'm going to tell you how many packages went out each day to kind of give you an idea of the quantity of sales that we are getting as we are chugging along uphill on that roller coaster towards Q4. And then I'm going to show you the highlights of the week. My favorite things that sold, Keith's favorite things that sold, and those that netted us the biggest profits, which would be bolos for you guys. Last weekend was Labor Day weekend, which means it was a 3-day weekend. We had one whole extra day to accumulate sales to ship out on Tuesday, and it really wasn't that great, folks. Tuesday rolled around, and from Friday at 2 p.m. until Tuesday at 2 p.m., we had a total of 38 items sell. They went out in 37 packages. We had a multi-order on eBay. 32 of those sales were eBay. 5 were Posh. 1 was Macari. But that it averaged out to like less than 10 sales a day, which isn't that great. It sounds like a whole lot of packages, but for our business, the quantity that we have in inventory across all platforms, that's not a very good sell-through rate. Wednesday, we had 9 sales go out in 8 packages. Don't you just love those people that buy more than one thing? Thursday, we had 6 packages go out. 5 of those were eBay sales, 1 was Posh. And then on Friday, we had 5 packages only, 2 of which were eBay and 3 were Posh. So you see the trend here. Last week, we were selling a lot more on Poshmark and kind of not doing so great on eBay. And I have a theory about that. I feel like when you go into Posh and you really grind and you really hustle and you put in the effort to get extra listings in there and you're sharing your closet and you're sharing everybody else and you're doing the offers to likers, you almost see an immediate payout. It's almost immediate. Like you can go in and be halfway through all the items in your store that you're doing offers to likers on and you'll start to see sales come in right away. eBay kind of has like a delay. So if you really put your nose to the grind and you're hustling and you're listing every day and busting your butt on eBay, it usually takes, for us at least, 3 to 4 days for that to catch up. So if we really start listing, say I'm doing 20 a day and Keith is doing 20 a day for 3 days straight, then on that 4th day we'll see an increase in our sales. The reason I'm pointing this out is because, as you all know, the week before Labor Day, I was really sick the first half of the week in bed. And then when I started to feel better, Keith was sick and he was in bed. So half of the week we only had the efforts of one person, and the other half of the week we only had the efforts of one person. Again, thankfully we weren't both down at the same time. I can't imagine what that would have done to our sales and productivity. At least one of us was up and working while the other one was out of commission. But we kind of saw like that entire week we had no Posh sales. Zero, zip, zilch Posh sales. None. And our eBay sales plummeted. Well, then when we both were better, over Labor Day weekend and into last week, all the way through, we really put our noses to the grind. We were grinding, we were hustling, we were doing all these things on Posh and all these things on eBay. And we immediately saw that last week we had 10 sales on Posh, and that's a record for us on Poshmark. So that was why I wanted to bring it up. The week we weren't really doing much, sales were low. The week we were really grinding, Posh increased. We didn't really see an increase in eBay until over this past weekend, which is about right. I feel like Posh is like instant gratification. The minute you put the work in, you're going to see the sales. And eBay kind of takes a couple days to catch up. I think it's probably just the difference in the algorithm that Posh uses versus Cassini. And additionally, the fact that Posh is a social site. So if you're sharing and you're sending out offers, you're immediately reaching people who want to buy your stuff. You can list a bunch in eBay, people aren't going to see it right away. It's not social, so they're not like waiting for you to share or to offer them a discount for liking the item. So you're listing it in there, and then it takes a couple of days for it to settle in and Cassini to grab it and throw it into the search results. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. So this past weekend, like I said, we finally saw the payouts for all of the hard work we were putting in on eBay. We had 37 packages go out this morning, which still, that is really good. We are coming up on the tail end of summer. We are going into Q4, so the summer slowdown is still a thing, but usually after Labor Day, sales on eBay will start to pick up. It's like right after Labor Day, you're chugging along like you're on a roller coaster, and you're going up to the top. I really feel like it's that Labor Day weekend, right after that is usually when the sales pick up. And additionally, we put in all that work last week. So 37 on a Monday for us is okay. It's acceptable. It's not bad, but it's not stellar, and it's not fantastic, and it's not great. I believe our record is like 50 sales. So 37 is good, though. I'll take it. This past weekend was the best weekend we have had in months as far as the quantity of packages going out and the overall gross sales. We did have the best weekend we've had in many months. So I'm not by any means saying our 37 packages are weak sauce. They're not. We had stacks going out. It was great. We sold a lot. We sold a couple of really high dollar items, and we are happy with it. But I never want to be happy where I'm at. I always want to be striving to be better. I always want to be striving to do more, sell more, list more, have more inventory. I always want to be growing, and I always want to be competing with myself and with Keith and our own sales records to always keep doing better. So with that said, I will let you guys know, like I said, we had 37 packages go out today. 31 of those sales were eBay. That's only one sale less than last weekend with a whole less of a day. That's not proper English. So last weekend we had that whole extra day, Labor Day, to accumulate sales. And we only sold one more item than we did this weekend. So you can see the difference in how much we're increasing and how much better we're doing. But just like Labor Day weekend, we had 5 Posh sales and 1 Macari. So anyway, I feel things are looking up. Keith and I are still hustling hard. We're trying to increase the amount of things that we're both listing every day, in addition to the amount of work we're putting in on other platforms. We should be branching out to Amazon soon. I will keep you guys posted on that. So without further ado, let's just take a look at the highlights this week. I don't want to keep you guys forever. You know, I always say, I'm not going to keep you guys forever. And then I start talking, and it's like forever. So this tie we found at the bins. So by weight, it was probably 10 cents. It's pretty cool. It has all these different NFL teams on it. You can see the Jaguars, there's the Steelers, the Jets, the Buffalo Bills. Sorry, y'all, not a sports person. The Buffaloes. No, I know they're the Buffalo Bills. There's Kansas City Chiefs. Oh, look at me just throwing out team names like I know sports. Cleveland Indians, Green Bay Packers. So this tie just had all these different teams. There's the Carolina Panthers. I am impressing myself. I don't know who that pirate guy is, though. So it costs like 10 cents. So selling it for $7.68. We're happy with it. These things weigh like 2 ounces. They're like barely $3 to ship. Ties like this that aren't very expensive. We roll really nice into a little roll, kind of like you see here in the back, but we roll the whole thing up and we put it in a Ziploc baggie and squish the air out and make it real nice inside of there. And we put that in a business card inside of a poly, and then we fold the poly over nice and tape it. The more expensive the tie is, or if they had new with tags or anything like that, we have small 4x4x4 boxes where we put the tie inside of that, but we still roll it up inside of the Ziploc bag before it goes into the box. But one like this, it just goes in a poly. Doesn't cost much to ship. Cost 10 cents at the bins, and it probably took Keith a minute to photograph. Ties are very nice that way. A lot of them don't sell for a lot, but they're cheap. They ship cheap, and you can do so many in a session of photography that it's ridiculous. They're fast. Here we have a Nike Golf men's polo shirt. This is West Virginia Nike too. So this one we definitely picked up I know I said somewhere, I believe it was Casey, the Rockstar Flippers big group, Thrifter Reseller World. Someone asked, now that we're coming into the football season, what teams do you do well with? And she was specifically asking about NFL. Of course, I mentioned the Steelers, but I said, you know, not NFL, college-wise, the West Virginia Mountaineers. Keith and I find that stuff all the time. West Virginia's right next door. And we've always done really well with it. Some of it goes fast. Some of it sits for a while. But most of it that goes pretty fast is like $15 or $12. Stuff that sits usually goes for like this, $18. This hasn't been sitting too long. Probably like a week or two. And I've had figurines and hoodies and sweatshirts. So, I mean, that's just a bolo for you guys. I don't know where you are in the country, but if you do find it, Steelers and the West Virginia Mountaineers do really well. I think this is a popular college. I'm not sure. Like I said, I don't do the sporting. But I know the Steelers have won like 20, what's the thing called? Super Bowls. And they're really popular. Speaking of sports and colleges, we found this Florida Gators blue and orange hooded sweatshirt with the kangaroo pockets. It's a Stadium Athletics brand. We found this at the Goodwill for 99 cents. It sat around, I want to say for a couple months, and just kept being relisted because it started at $25, and as you can see this time around it started at $21.44. But I cross-posted this to Posh, and that exact same day it sold on eBay. So I don't know if it was because I went in the back end of it and tweaked some things when I was cross-posting it, that it got pushed up in the search algorithm, or if someone saw it on Posh and decided to come over to my eBay store and get it for a little bit cheaper. I do find that a lot of times, right when I cross-post something to Poshmark, it sells on eBay. Does anybody else notice that? Anyway, we got $20.37 for this, and we paid 99 cents. I think I forgot to tell you, the West Virginia was also 99 cents at Goodwill, and we got 18 for it. Dun da da da! My favorite jeans, silver jeans. I love these guys. You guys know I pay up for these. I'll pay $6.99 for these all day long. These ones I just recently found. I put them in the store. They sat for like just over 2 weeks. They went on the 5% off sale, and they sold for the full asking sale price of $36.76. And these were the Tuesday low rise, but I don't discriminate. I buy all silver jeans. There's certain styles and stuff that fetch more money or will flip a little bit faster than other ones, but all day long I love silver jeans. I don't discriminate. If I find them and they're 99 cents or half off, all the better. If they're still $6.99, I still buy them. These ones were kind of cute because they had like this little belt trouser style thing in the front. I just wanted to show off my Guess jeans because I know a lot of people say that Guess is a brand they don't mess with anymore and they don't sell. I got these for 99 cents. They're the Daredevil, what do they call them? The Daredevil boot cut. This is like the 4th or 5th Daredevil boot cut I have personally flipped. I get them for 99 cents, like I said. They're nice looking jeans. They usually have a longer inseam. They're for like taller people, as you can see. And I flipped them for 20 bucks. So I really wouldn't recommend getting these unless you can get them for like $2 or less. They really wouldn't be worth messing with. This is one of those brands that I'll mess with because I get it for 99 cents. This Kermit, he is one of the ones that Frenchie gave me back in the video where she and I met up and did some retail arbitrage, and then we did the little plush haul at the end. Frenchie gave me a bunch of plush, and she had like 3 or 4 Kermits that she had found that she gave me. This was the Applause. No, this is Disney. I don't know why this one was only 12. When I comped him, I saw people selling him for $9 and $10, so I decided to list mine at 12, and there's why. It's TY. which is fine. I mean, I would buy this if I could find it for $1 or less in the wild. I would still buy a TY Kermit. It's got the Disney logo on it as well. So he went, he was in here long. He's been in here since before Vegas. And I just kept listing him at $12. I figured he would eventually go on the sale for $11.40 or I'd get a best offer for him. But the thing is I didn't even realize till he sold. I forgot to rearrange the pictures when I listed him. Do you see this? This is the front photo. This is what people saw. There's a tear in my... Look at this. How ridiculously amateur of a mistake is this? First of all, my background is ripped and not even covered. And then he's laying by the ruler. This should really be like the last photo in the series here. And this one should have been the first one that they saw, because his butt's on the tear, covering it up. And yes, our background was torn for a little while before we replaced it. We were just working with it because you were able to cover up that tear pretty well, see? And then I knocked over one of our lights right into the backdrop, tore the whole thing. We had to get a new one. But anyway, I just thought that was funny that his main picture was still the ruler, and this tear is bothering me, and he still sold. But it took him a while. He's been in here since before Vegas, so. So yeah, I didn't have any cost of goods on him. I think Renee said she got all these plush that she gave me for like 10 cents at the Shard Top. This Neopets was 33 cents. He's from back in the day when my Goodwill had the 3 for $1. They've since marked them all 50 cents in that particular shopping cart they keep them in. But I got him back when they were 3 for $1, so he was 33 cents. He sold for 10. These little guys like this, I always like to say to people, they're like the ties of the plush world. They're the really tiny ones, and he had damage too. They're the really tiny ones like this that don't weigh like not even an ounce, maybe 2 ounces. They're very small. If I can get them for 50 cents or less. See, he's only 5 inches. And he had damage. So yeah, if I can get them for under 50 cents, I'll flip them for 10. Maybe take a best offer of 8. They weigh like an ounce. They're like the ties of the plushie world. The tiny, small, cheapo little plushies. Here's a Boyd's Bear. He came from the big, huge lot I bought out at the first yard sale over last summer. The one that had all the different Disney and Boyd's Bears. Pretty much bought all the guys' Disney and Boyd's Bears plushies. So I think it was 77 cents is what we figured each plush came out to be after we figured out, you know, how many were in the lot and how much we paid. It was like 77 cents. And he is just too cute. He's got a baby and a bow in her hair. I should say she. I think it's a mommy bear. Yeah, it says mom and me. Haha. Okay, so yeah, it's a mommy. So she sold for 16. She went in a little box, like one of our little tie boxes, the 4x4x4, just to protect the tag. The tag was in really good shape, other than the little cosmetic damage from the sticker. So yeah, she went in a little tiny box. And this Phineas and Ferb, he came out of the basket after they had raised the prices. So this platypus, Perry the Platypus. He's a Phineas and Ferb character from that show. His name is Perry the Platypus. He had like weird eyes. He was kind of cute though. He had these little doodads on his head. Little hairs, I guess. Anyway, he was 50 cents. He sold for $11.40. He's been around for a couple of months. But he went finally, see, and he was a Disney park. Sometimes I get really disappointed. I'll pick up a Disney plush or Disney Parks plush, get it home and comp it, and everybody and their brother wants to sell it for nothing. And so I list mine at $12, hoping I can at least get that much. But $11.40 is okay. And he had a little bit of damage here on his foot. And here's the best thing we sold all week. Sony DVD VCR combo. This is like the second or third Sony DVD VCR combo we've had come through the store. We paid $6 for this one. Typically, when we pick them up from the Goodwill, they're $10 if they're one of these better brands like Sony. And sometimes Keith will find them for $5 or $6 for other brands. This one did not have its remote with it, and I'm wondering if that's why they didn't price it at $6. Because typically the Sony ones are $10. The other one, I know for sure we paid $10 for. So it could be that it didn't have its remote. But we went ahead and paid the $6 for it. It's been around for a little bit. Not too long. I know that we sold one right when we got back from Vegas. I said we had listed before Vegas. This one was listed after that, sometime in August. You can see it went on the 5% off sale. So I want to say maybe it's been around for like 3.5 weeks, maybe 3. Because it went up in August. We're just barely into September. It never ended. So it was listed, and then it was in long enough to go 5% off. So I want to say 3 weeks. We took a best offer, $60. I don't know what was going on with this particular DVD VCR combo. But starting Thursday night and then all day Friday night and all day Saturday, we were getting tons and tons and tons of offers on it. But they were like for $30, $25, $40, $45, and we could not get anybody to come up any higher than $50. We were not letting it go for less than $60. And finally someone offered, like, I think he started at $50, and Keith went back with $60 and $64. They bartered, but we eventually just took the $60 for it. But for some reason, starting Thursday night all the way into Saturday, this particular one, DVD VCR combo, had a lot of attention. Just offers coming in, and eventually we just were like, oh, let's just take the $60 and sell it. We made a good bet on it. After they paid shipping, so after fees, 6 plus 3 is 9, plus another 6 is 15. So we made like $45 on it, which isn't bad. But that does show you that, like, I know I always tell people, just real quick word of wisdom. Don't just straight out decline lower offers, and don't ignore them. Every time an item of yours gets an offer on it and you counter it, it counts as activity. Cassini sees that item as desirable and pushes it up in the search engine. And this is just proof. This thing sat around for, like I said, probably about 3 weeks. No dice, no activity. We get the first low ball for like 25. We went back with 64, and they didn't do anything else with it. But then the next offer came in, and the next offer came in, and the next offer came in. And it got to where this thing was just really popping. So that just shows you that every time you get an offer, don't decline it and don't ignore it. Send back 10% off, say thank you, and move on with your day. But every time you do that, you are giving your item a boost in the searches, because Cassini will see it as something that people find desirable and is popular. So I just wanted to put that out there. I know a lot of you don't like to deal with low ballers, or you have your minimum set to where it automatically declines it, and this is why I don't do that. I don't have the auto decline on, and I have best offer on everything, because even the worst offer, all I have to do is take 2 seconds of my day, 10% off, thank you for your interest, boom, done. The item moves up in the searches. And more often than not, it'll be like this thing was, where it just keeps getting a ton of offers until you finally get someone to come up to where you want. Or you'll keep getting offers and someone will swoop in and buy it full price. So that's why we do what we do. I personally, if you asked me for my advice, would tell you to never have the auto decline on and to respond to every offer. 10% off, thank you for your interest, and this is why. So that being said, I'm going to end the video. You guys have things to do. I don't want to keep you all night. Y'all know I love to talk and tell stories and show you my stuff. I will be back tomorrow morning with a haul video. Let me know in the comments below how your sales have been. Have they gone up since Labor Day? How was your weekend? Did you see a lot of activity like we did? What kind of things are you selling? How are you getting ready for Q4? Whatever you want to talk about, leave it in the comments down below. Do me a favor and smash that like button down below. If you haven't already and you would like to, please subscribe to our channel and help us feed a hungry hippo. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We are at Flippin' Hippos. Until next time, you guys have a good night.